So if you're watching this video, you've probably cracked your screen and you're looking to replace it. I'll show you everything you need and what you need to do. So let's go through what you need. You need to order your screen, get the 3G for the 3G phone, 3GS for the 3GS phone. The only difference is in the connector and some of the wiring. Once you have the screen, it'll come with a plastic tool and a screwdriver. That's all you really need, and a suction cup. So you should order all these parts. And you need a knife or scissors, some tape to tape over top of it so the glass doesn't fall all over the place, and you need a hairdryer to heat up the adhesive so you can remove this old screen. And then you can stick on the new screen and put it back together. So I'll begin with taking it apart. You'll remove these two screws, and the bottom home button side will lift and pull away from the frame. Make sure you take your SIM card out and power it off. You don't really need to take the SIM card out, but that's a good precaution. So once it's off, you can pull this bottom edge away using the suction cup and pivot on this edge so you don't break the 3 cables that you have to disconnect here. So make sure you pull it just a crack away, just wiggle it, and make sure you don't pull it too far away. And then once it's away, take that off, lift this edge up, and I actually cut this down so I can pull up on these ribbons without breaking them. So there's 1, 2, and the third one is underneath ribbon number 2, and that's a small plastic lever. You have to lift up on that and be very careful. So that's your number 1, that's your number 2, and there's number 3. So there's a black lever on this one, changes color on other phones. You lift up on that black lever 90 degrees and it pivots, so make sure you do it gently and you don't snap it right off. So you got to lift up slowly. There you go. Probably can't see that, but once it's up, that's all it takes. Number 3 should just push right out, and that's it. So you can put the phone aside, and there's a clock just so you can see how long it takes to do all this. Taking it apart takes almost no time. The time-consuming part is actually heating it up and removing the glass. That part really takes a while to clean it up because you have to clean the adhesive, and that takes a long time to get off. The tape can help you do that as well. Just use the tape and pull it away. And the screen costs about $6.78 or something like that. So once you have all that off, pull it away from this side. The ribbon side actually has this little thing that holds it down. So you can, there's a small edge on this side, and you can lift up on that and push on this metal piece. You can see that pulls away, right? So you lift up there, pulls it away, then you can just slide it out that way. And you'll want to keep this face down because dust will get on it. So I'm just going to lay it down face down with the edge touching the suction cup so it doesn't touch face down. And this is what you've got to remove. So be careful with this third cable here. You don't want to break that, otherwise it's not going to work anymore. Your speaker won't work anymore. So I'm going to take a piece of tape, put it over top, and then I'm going to use the prying tool to try to pry it away. This I may fast forward through because it takes some time, and I'll show you how long it takes. But I'll show you the key steps. So tape it up. Most of the cracks are on this side, so you want to tape that up. Now you should be able to pull it away without it falling to pieces. So what you need to do here is heat up the edges that you want to get pulled away, which is mostly here and here. These edges don't really hold that well. So heat it up for a little bit. Don't overheat it or else the plastic will bend and you can pry it right off. You may ask, how much is enough? Let's say the magic number is 85. So now you just use the plastic pry tool, and I usually just pull it away on these edges first. You can see that it just comes right off once it's heated up. And this part's going to start falling apart on me, so make sure you don't rip the home button off with the tape. It has to stay with the frame. Just the glass gets removed, so be careful with that. And it's cracked there, so it's not going to come off that easily. Make sure you don't damage the rubber gasket around the edge either. That'll be a pain. So as you can see, that cracked area is going to be a lot of trouble to clean. Yeah, the glass didn't come off there at all. But the rest of it's off, so that's garbage. And now is the hard part. You've got to peel away all this glass. Be careful of that. You can cut yourself pretty easily. Make sure you don't damage the speaker too. Maybe easier to use a knife. If you don't damage the sensor there too, because there's a light sensor and proximity sensor. So if you damage them, you got the it will no longer stay with the screen, and you have to have it in your cheeks. Oh yeah. So if you charge so close to your fingers, you have to clean that up. That was one piece of when this was on. Then you just dropped it. Or threw it around the panel. So use a knife and clean up all the adhesion. Or use a knife and clean up all the adhesive that's left over. You don't want any of that remaining. If it's still on there, then your new screen's gonna not sit level, it won't sit properly, and it'll cause you problems. It's like behind it, screen fall off. So clean up all the edges really well. Clean up real good. Alright, so now it's all clean. You got to put on the new adhesive. Careful not to scrape away these screws. Alright, so there you go. iPhone dealer. So you take the adhesive, and the adhesive has these strange little corners on it. I guess that's for peeling away the sticker, but they get in the way when you actually go to install it, so I cut them right off. So now take your adhesive and just stick it on. There's no magic to this, you just have to make sure you line it up properly. And if you double fold it, that's a problem. So make sure you unfold it if you double folded it. So there you go. Now just push that down firmly. This stuff sticks pretty well, but you still need to push it down. Once you've got it all pushed down, you can take away the double-sided adhesive. So now that you've got it all off, it's ready to stick on a new screen. So just make sure these cables go underneath. Take off all this stuff. And then just make sure these ribbons go above. Put in the top first. Make sure you're up against the edge. And then the rest should fall right in, just like that. Make sure the home button clicks, and then press this all down. And while you're doing all this, make sure while you're handling the frame, make sure you don't damage these two springs. If you go to wipe this face down and you pull on these two springs, you'll break them and bend them backwards. So just use a cloth and make sure it's completely clean. Watch those. So just clean that. This one's pretty dirty just from being in a pocket, I guess. Once you've wiped both surfaces clean, free of lint, you can just slide this thing back in. Make sure this thing goes above it. Watch your cables. Clip it down. Put your screws back in. Should be 6, 3 per side. Alright, so I just took a quick little break there. So it doesn't really take that long to put in 6 screws, but we've got that in. Now all you got to do is put the screen back in and you're good to go. You have to put in number 3, 2, then 1. So this one goes in pretty easy. Just kind of wiggle it until it slides in. Come on. There you go. So it's in. And basically I just push down on it and get this thing out of the way. So I just push down on it. Once it's flat, it's pretty much tight. So this one clips right in. That's your digitizer. And then LCD's pretty much the hardest because you have to have it pretty closed before it'll sit properly. And I felt the two sides click in, so I know that's in. You don't always hear it, but you can just slide it in, close it, power it on, function test it, and you're good. So now it's on and it function tests perfectly. You should test the call, make sure that this thing's plugged in properly, and then when you make a call and you put your thumb over the proximity sensor, it should turn off the screen so that you don't activate any buttons with your face. Check all the buttons, make sure it works. So there you go, that's how you replace the 3GS or 3G screen. Hope you enjoyed watching that. Thanks for watching.